Hello and happy Friday. Welcome to Flow and Restore Yoga, where we are going to dive a little bit longer at the end for guided 10 minutes of insight meditation, also known as Vipassana meditation. And before then, our physical focus today will be a bit more on opening the shoulders. Of course, we'll have an overall physical yoga practice. So make sure you have two blocks, a strap, a blanket, a bolster or pillow, and I invite you to sit in any way that allows you comfort, as well as invites your spine to be as tall as possible without being rigid. And you can also feel grounded, evenly balanced down at the bottom of your body. Here's a very succinct quote attributed to the Greek philosopher Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. What do you repeatedly do? Oftentimes when I'm meditating, I don't realize that there are habits of thinking that are more in the unconscious drive. And when I'm meditating long enough, sometimes they will come to the forefront of my attention and can really notice if those kinds of thought patterns or my attention to them and thus expanding them affects me in a beneficial way, or my relationships and perceptions in a beneficial way. So these things that we repeatedly do can be the more obvious things of like getting up and taking care of dental hygiene, bodily hygiene. I call meditation spiritual hygiene or mental hygiene. But also, what are the habits that we are not aware of, and how can we become more aware of them? Because the key to freedom, the freedom of choice, is awareness. And so I'm very excited to expand upon our insight meditation, because that's one of the benefits of Vipassana meditation, is becoming aware, more aware of our mental tendencies and how they affect us in daily lives. All right, let's begin our physical practice. As you start to find some relaxed stillness in the body, maybe close the eyes, whatever allows you to tune inward more easily. I invite you to mentally scan your physical body, just becoming more aware of the aliveness of sensations throughout it. Noticing without judging anything as good or bad. Notice your physical state as you begin your asana yoga. Can you sense the breath without controlling it? Notice if the breath feels fast or slow, deep or shallow, any qualities you can detect. All letting you know how you're feeling energetically right now. Now let's bring attention to your mind and emotional state. Do you notice a pattern in the kinds of thoughts you've been feeding lately? Again, just notice without judging. And how are you feeling emotionally at this moment? As you root into the surface below the body, sit a little taller and let a deeper breath in. Opening the mouth, let it go. Invite a slower breath in. And take your time releasing it. Slowing down the breath. Invite to call to mind anything in this present moment that you can offer gratitude for. You might acknowledge all the details that had to come together for you to be able to sit here now and enjoy a practice of yoga. And now clarify an intention for this practice, your personal prayer, your why, or bigger picture. Let the feeling of that intention already in existence, already in fruition, start to affect your posture and breathing. And then I invite you to think of someone you'd like to dedicate this practice to as a means of extending the benefits that you're feeling through the practice to somebody else, sending them loving kindness. Together, let's join our voices to create resonance, set our intentions and our dedications by chanting Om 3 times. Allow a deeper breath in. As you continue to lengthen the breath, let's start to warm up the body and help to focus and calm our nervous system through the practice of Ujjayi Pranayama, or victorious breathing. So closing your lips, gently constrict the back of your throat, creating a soft, whispering sound as you lengthen the breath evenly in and out through your nose. As you listen to that sound, let it serve as an anchor for your mind, bridging your attention to your body in the present moment. See if you can keep that slow, steady pace of breath going so that we can start to move the body at that pace. Please make your way down onto hands and knees, all fours. And let's start with some gentle movements of cat-cow pose or Betalasana. Spread your fingers wide at the top of your mat and stack your shoulders over your wrists. Step your knees back a couple of inches behind your hips. As you breathe in, slowly glide your torso forward, roll your shoulders back and down, and gaze up, entering cow pose. As you breathe out, lift the belly towards the spine, drop your head to around the back, entering cat pose. Then again into cow pose, slowly coil your chest up. Into cat pose, exhale as you contract your abdomen. Keep going, following a slow, mindful breath pace. Now at the end of your next exhalation, tuck your toes and lift your hips high, pressing your sitting bones back. Try to create the feeling of a flat back as you drop your skull and relax the neck. Downward facing dog. And as you arrive there, feel free to move your body any way to help loosen it up. You might pedal your feet slowly in place, warming up the backs of your legs. You might gently shake and nod your head a few times, relaxing your neck, keeping that calm, even rhythm in the sound of your breath. As you spread your fingers flat, spin your outer upper arms towards the ground, protracting or broadening the shoulder blades across your upper back. And then lift the shoulders away from your neck. Feel free to bend the knees if that allows you to lengthen the back rather than round it. Press your chest towards your shins, engage your abdomen towards the spine, and then continue to draw your hips up and back while rooting your heels downward. Now let your gaze arrive at one focal point as you still the body for 2 more deep breaths. Adho Mukha Svanasana, the Sanskrit name of this pose. On your next inhalation, glide forward into the top of a push-up plank pose, stacking your shoulders above your wrists
And either lowering your knees right under the hips for support or keeping the legs straight while actively firming your inner heels back. Lengthen your neck by gazing on the ground ahead of your thumbs and engage the belly, lift the sides of your abdomen. One more long inhale as you stretch through the midline of your body. Exhale, shift forward as far as you can and lower halfway down to pause in Chaturanga Dandasana. Let your elbows touch your side ribs as you continue to lengthen your neck. Then slowly lower all the way down and point your toes back. Firm the tops of your feet into the ground. Hug the elbows to your ribs. As you breathe in, draw your shoulder heads back, slightly lifting the chest. Look downward ahead. Another breath in, lengthen the back of the neck as you broaden the chest in Cobra or Bhujangasana. Tucking your toes with an exhalation, firm in the belly and press up to plank again. Then lift your hips back to downward facing dog. Bend your knees. Inhale, look past your hands. Empty your breath, then walk or lightly jump to the top of your mat. Forward folds. Step the feet hips distance apart, parallel to each other, and feel free to bend your knees any amount that allows you to relax the neck and lengthen the spine rather than rounding the back. Plant your fingertips on blocks or the ground in front of your feet. Press into that as you inhale to stretch your spine forward, drawing the shoulders back, half forward fold. Exhale, bow again, forward fold. To the breath, press with your hands. Inhale, reach the top of your head forward in Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, drop your head to fold in Uttanasana. This time, firm down through your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, slowly rising to stand. Sweep the arms overhead and gently coil your chest up in Urdhva Hastasana. As you exhale, trace your palms in prayer down the center line of your body to your heart center. Pausing here, come back to the feeling tone of your intention for this practice. Listen to your breath. Offering gratitude to the sun, a great source of energy on this planet. Let's begin sun salutations. Si, Surya Namaskar, Si to the breath. Inhale, sweep your arms forward, draw your shoulders back and look up. Exhale, bow over your legs. Plant your fingertips outside of your heels. Inhale, step your left knee behind you to kneeling lunge and gaze up. Hold your breath as you step to plank pose. Exhale as you lower first your knees, then your chest, then your chin. Inhale, slide forward, entering cobra pose. Exhale, lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and bow. Press to your feet, inhale, rise to the top, lifting your heart towards the sun. Exhale, join your palms at your heart. Second side, inhale, sweep your arms overhead in Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bow forward in Uttanasana. Plant your fingertips down. Inhale, step your right knee back into a kneeling lunge and gaze up. Holding your breath, step into plank pose. As you exhale, lower your knees, then your chest, then your chin. Inhale, slide forward into cobra. Draw the shoulders back. Exhale, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your right foot beside your right thumb. Lower your left knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your left foot forward and bow. Rooting down, inhale, rise all the way up, lifting your heart towards the sun. Exhale, marry your palms in prayer at heart center. Let's move into sun salutation, B. Continue moving to the breath. Step the inner edges of your big toes to touch, preparing for chair pose. Empty this breath. On an inhale, bend your knees together to touch. Sit back towards your heels in chair pose, Utkatasana. As you exhale, shift your weight forward and bow from your hips, Uttanasana. Press the ground or blocks. Inhale, lengthen forward to Ardha Uttanasana. Step back to your version of plank pose. And as you exhale this time, glide forward. Hug your elbows towards your ribs and lower through Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Keeping your left and right hips leveled, inhale, sweep your right leg behind you. As you exhale, step the foot gently beside your right thumb and spin your left heel down. Inhale, slowly rise to stand in Warrior One, facing forward. Ride your exhalation down to plank and continue lowering through your vinyasa, cobra or upward facing dog. And back to downward facing dog. Keep your hips leveled again. Inhale, sweep your left leg behind you. Exhale, step the foot forward gently beside your left thumb and spin your right heel down. Inhale, rise up to Virabhadrasana 1. Ride your exhalation from plank to Chaturanga and continue through your vinyasa, following your breath. When you arrive in downward facing dog, be still, cultivating focus as you steady your gaze and re-steady your breath. At least 3 cycles of breath. Empty the next breath before you walk or lightly jump to the front of your mat in a forward fold. Let the feet touch here. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold again. Bend the knees to touch. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale to rise up. Let's take the same salutation one last time. Surya Namaskar B. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lengthen forward, halfway up. Step to plank. Some of you might jump lightly to Chaturanga. Insert your vinyasa here. Follow your breath. At downward facing dog, take your time to get there. Inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale the foot beside right thumb. Spin left heel down. Inhale to Warrior One. Exhale down, all the way through your vinyasa. When you do arrive at downward dog, take it to the left side. Inhale the left leg up. Exhale the foot forward. Back heel down. Inhale up to Warrior One. Exhale all the way down through your vinyasa. Three to 5 breaths in stillness as you steady your gaze in Adho Mukha Svanasana, slowing down your breathing. Observing any patterns of mind or body or breath. What do you repeatedly do when you're in this pose? When you've emptied the breath and are ready, walk or jump lightly to the front of your mat. Let your feet touch, then inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Let your knees touch. Inhale, chair pose. Let's stay in chair. Join your hands at your heart and keep the hips slow as you exhale, begin to twist to the right. Adding a little more fire here as we're warming up. Inhale, tack the left hip back. Lengthen the top of your head forward. Draw the shoulder blades down the back. Exhale, you might hook the left elbow outside the right thigh. Continue to turn your rib cage. Now make sure to support your lower back by not twisting your legs or pelvis, ensuring that your 2 kneecaps are each equidistant to the front edge of your mat. Last 2 breaths here in twisting chair pose or Parita Utkatasana. If you can, sit a little lower, inhale through center in chair pose. Exhale, hook the thumbs and rise to stand, drawing the shoulders back, lift your heart in a standing back bend. Deep breath, broadening the chest. Exhale, join your hands at the heart center, mountain pose. Inhale back to chair, Utkatasana. Join your hands at your heart and exhale. Begin twisting to your left. Draw your right hip back to prevent twisting at the legs as you rotate your rib cage. Breath by breath. Let the shoulders relax away from the neck. About 3 more breaths here. Maybe sit a little lower. Inhale the arms up in chair. Hook the opposite thumb on top and exhale, rise. Standing back bend. Maybe the upper arms slide behind your ears as you plug the shoulder blades down your back. Seal in the bottom of your front ribs as you lift your heart and gaze. 1 more deep breath. Exhale, mountain pose. Let's come on down to hands and knees again, all fours, and find your version of plank pose, whether knees on the floor or legs straight. From plank pose, glide forward and slowly lower through chaturanga all the way down. Slide your forearms forward, lifting your chest in sphinx pose so that you land your elbows right beneath your shoulders. Let's slide the knees as close together as you comfortably can, and we'll give our quadriceps and hip flexors a little more space for our last few active back bends. Here, cross your left forearm in front of your chest on the ground. Bend your right knee. Backstroke your right arm and reach for the inner side of your right ankle or foot. And I say the inner side, not the outer side, so that you can open up the front of your right shoulder rather than rounding it forward. Now make sure that your knees are no wider apart than your hips distance in order to stabilize your lower back, and press your 2 frontal hip bones onto the ground. Let your chest completely face forward. Breath by breath, gently bring the right heel, maybe a little closer to the outer right hip. Relaxing the shoulders back, the neck, jaw. About 3 more breaths here. Then release your right leg straight and come back to Sphinx pose, both forearms on the floor, where you can slide your knees more easily closer together. Let's switch sides. Cross the right forearm in front of your chest and bend your left knee. Backstroke your left arm. Try to catch the inner side, not the outer side, of your left ankle or foot. Have your knees no wider apart than your hips distance. Ground your 2 frontal hip bones and turn your chest to completely face forward. As you're breathing slowly, bring the left heel just slightly to the outside of your left hip. Relax the shoulders back. Soften your neck and face. 3 more breaths. Once you've let that go, let your forehead rest on the floor, and let's enter our last 3 active back bends. In bound locust pose to start, forehead on the ground, knees close together, point your toes back and press the tops of your feet firmly into the floor. Keep stretching the legs long like someone's pulling your ankles towards the back wall. Reach the hands behind your lower back to clasp or hold a strap between them if that's easier. As you're breathing, keep pressing the tops of your feet into the ground and peel your shoulders back, thus lifting your chest and head, and stay for 5 to 7 deep breaths. Now, if your lower back feels stable enough and it feels okay with it, you can lift your legs off the floor. Try to keep your knees no wider apart than hips distance and your feet parallel to each other. Let's tune in to the breath. Relaxing all that doesn't need to contract or engage in this posture, like the eyes. Slow, even breaths. Baddha Shalabhasana, bound locust pose. And when you're done, You might make a pillow out of your forearms to rest your head on, and just rest for 2 to 3 breaths. Notice what you're feeling in your body. Our yoga practice can reveal to us quite a bit our patterns that we might not be aware of. Kinds of thoughts that come across our minds when we're feeling challenged or when things are going easily. Let's move into bow pose. Slide the knees close together, bend both knees and reach back for your outer feet. Kick your feet away as you pull them towards you, lifting your knees. Again, stabilize your lower back by not splaying the knees apart, wider than hips distance. Draw your shoulder heads back, press the shoulder blades down, and look on the ground just ahead to lengthen the back of your neck. Give it a total of 5 to 7 deep breaths. We're going to practice this pose twice. Dhanurasana. When you've let go, give yourself 2 to 3 breaths. Just rest and observe how you feel. All right, our last back bend, Dhanurasana once again. And here's another variation you might choose. As you bend both knees, you might catch the inner sides of your feet, or you might hold your ankles. If you're holding your ankles, flex your feet. Press your pubic bone into the ground, kick the feet away, and pull the feet towards you. Imagine you're squeezing a block between your thighs. Draw the shoulders back, softening them down. 5 to 7 deep breaths, your count. When you've let it go, this time you might windshield wiper your shin side to side to help loosen and massage your lower back. Breathe in to the belly, feeling it press against the ground. And breathe out through the mouth, cooling down as we enter the yin portion of our flow and restore practice. Place your hands on the ground alongside your ribs and slide into Balasana, child's pose, bringing the inner edges of your feet together to touch. Sink your hips back to your heels, whether your knees are together or apart. Choose what's more comfortable for you. I invite you to actively stretch your arms forward for this one, resting the forehead down. You could also place a prop under your forehead if that's more comfortable. By stretching your arms forward, we give a little more active stretch into the back. So at the same time, pull your hips back, sink them down towards your heels, and let your shoulders relax away from your neck. Notice where you might feel stronger sensations in your body here. How would it feel to direct more breath into that space? Feel the effect of deeper inhales in that region. And sense the effect of the exhalations there. Still listening to that whispering sound at the back of your throat, practicing Ujjayi Pranayama. Now keep your hips sinking back and down towards your feet. Keep your head and heart close to Mother Earth and begin walking your hands to your right side as far as you can reach. You might be stepping both hands outside of your mat. You might be stepping your left hand on top of the right. Stretching the left side of your torso. How would it feel to breathe a little deeper into the left wall of your rib cage? Do you notice any patterns of tension in the body? And where could you relax more consciously? One more deep breath here. And slowly walk your hands through center. And stay low to the ground. Keep the hips drawing back as you walk your hands to your left side, as far as you can reach. You might step the right hand on top of the left. And focus deeper breaths along the right side of your torso. What wants your attention here in your body? One more deep breath. Walking your hands through center again, I invite you to rest the arms back by your sides. You can turn you can turn your head to one side or keep resting on your forehead. Just a few more breaths here to have a different experience in the shoulders while you're in child's pose, Balasana. Couple last breaths here. Then plant your fingertips alongside your knees and begin to slowly, as you breathe in, roll your spine upright, like you're stacking one vertebra at a time, lifting your head last.
Have a seat with your legs in front of you. And let's prepare for a spinal seated twist. Now, as you bring the legs in front, notice the alignment of your spine. Are you able to sit tall? Are you feeling the back tending to round? If the latter, you might find it helpful to sit up in a folded blanket or any of your props, elevating the pelvis so the hip flexors can relax and the spine can feel a little taller. Step your right foot on the floor in front of your right hip to start holding the knee. Flex the left foot as you straighten the left leg. And just notice how this feels in your body. You could stay here for the setup, or you can go a little further and cross the right foot outside of your left knee as long as your two sitting bones can still evenly ground. Spine is comfortably tall. Or you can go further and also bend the left knee. Find the variation that honestly honors your body. Backstroke your right arm, planting the fingertips behind you. Press down with the sole of your right foot and your pelvis. Raise the left arm and lift up through the back of your skull as you breathe in. Relax the shoulders down and exhale, begin turning your rib cage to the right. Press the pelvis down again, lengthen up through the center of your spine as you breathe in. Continue to turn your rib cage as you breathe out. Now lower your left arm. Either hold your right leg or hook your left elbow outside of your right thigh. Invite your chin to just be parallel to the ground. Glide it softly towards the back of your throat. And continue to broaden your chest as you rotate your rib cage. For about 5 or 7 more breaths here. After practicing back bends like we did, spinal twists can help to neutralize the spine as we've taken the back to one full range of motion. Before we take it to the opposite direction in your full range of motion, which is forward folds, and just make it a little gentler to transition by neutralizing the spine in a twist. One more deep breath. As you exhale, keep your right leg on top, unwind your spine, and let's prepare the legs for cow face pose. So hug your thighs as close together as you can. Splay the feet apart. Now, if this throws you off balance, you could either make sure you're sitting on a prop or straighten the bottom leg like this. Flex the bottom foot. As you evenly ground your sitting bones, we'll bring the arms into eagle pose to counteract the back bends we've doing. To balance it out, so bend your elbows apart. And if your right leg is on top, cross your left elbow over your right elbow. Either hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms, sliding your shoulder blades down the back. Sit a little taller. Lift the elbows to the height of the shoulders. Gently press the forearms forward. Feel that broadening of your shoulder blades. Imagine breathing right between them into your back ribs. Now you could stay upright here if there's plenty of sensations happening in your body, or you can start to fold from the hips, breath by breath, while grounding the hips, going deeper into opening the outer hips and glutes, outer thighs. And pressing down through your pelvis as you inhale, slowly rise. Backstroke your arms, relaxing your shoulders, stretch the legs out in front of you. And just take a moment here. If you need to move, you might circle out your feet and shoulders, or maybe you sit still and just observe how your body feels. Full breath in. Let it go. Breathe into your entire torso, front and back, top and bottom, all through the sides. Now this time, step your left foot on the ground. Now I invite you to set up in a similar way as you did on the first side. So either keep the foot in front of your hip, your left hip, or cross the foot outside of your right knee, or also bend your right knee here. Make sure that you're allowing your sitting bones to evenly ground and your spine is freely tall. Backstroke your left arm, plant the fingertips, raise the right arm, press the sole of your left foot and your pelvis downward to lift upward as you inhale. Relax the shoulders down. Exhale, start to twist to your left side. Again, root down to rise as you inhale. Continue to twist to the left as you exhale. Lower your right arm to hold your left leg, or hook the elbow outside of the thigh. And keep exploring with each new breath gently. On your next exhalation, unwind your spine. Keep the left leg on top as you place your legs in Gomukhasana or cow face pose. Either splaying the feet apart as you hug the knees close together, or straightening the bottom leg, flexing that foot. Maybe you elevate your pelvis on a prop. Once you've got the base of your posture set up, bend your elbows apart, and this time cross the right elbow over the left. In Garudasana, eagle arms, hook your thumbs or wrap your forearms and palms. Slide your shoulder blades down your back and lift the elbows to the height of your shoulders. Sitting tall, press the forearms forward, breathe in. Stay here or exhale as you start to hinge forward from the hips.
Root down to your sitting bones. And inhale to slowly rise up, backstroking the arms apart and stretching your legs forward. Once again, either sit still for a few breaths or add some gentle movements as you're observing your body. Let's prepare for seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana. Root your two sitting bones down, and you may opt to use a strap around the balls of your feet as an extension of your arms so that you can relax the shoulders. And if you're going to be able to clasp your big toes without rounding the back, start with your arms up. Separate the feet hips width apart and flex them. Press the insteps of your feet forward and press down to your sitting bones. Sit up a little taller as you breathe in, relax the shoulders down. Then from your hips, start to hinge just a little bit forward. Pause as you inhale, root the pelvis down, stretch the spine a little longer. Exhale if it's available, fold a little more. And if you're not holding a strap, then take hold of the backs of your legs, walking the hands forward, maybe clasp the big toes. On your next in-breath, press the pelvis down and come up halfway, lifting your chest, peel the shoulders back, open your throat. Now, keeping that slight lift in your chest, continue to fold from the hips as you breathe out. About 5 more breaths here in Paschimottanasana. Pressing down to your pelvis, breathe in to slowly rise. Please find a comfortable way to sit for our last pranayama practice to help us relax more deeply, tune inward, and prepare for Shavasana, then our guided 10 minutes of sitting in meditation. Sit in a way that allows you to feel comfort and alertness, where you can breathe fully and easily. I'll invite you into alternate nostril breathing, or in Sanskrit, Nodi Shodhana Pranayama. In this version of it, I'll invite you to inhale for a count of 4 and hold the breath for a count of 6. Then we'll exhale for a count of 4 and hold the breath for a count of 6. If that feels like too long of a hold for you to feel relaxed, then make it your pace instead. Try to relax when you're holding the breath as much as possible. Now we'll place the left hand on the lap, and you can choose to place it in Gyan Mudra to help tune inward. That's bringing the thumb and first finger to touch like this and resting the palm face up on the lap. The right hand I'll invite you to place in Vishnu Mudra, where you stick out your right thumb, pinky, and ring fingers. Still breathing with your lips closed, just through the nose, very softly. We're not creating the whispering sound here. We'll use the right thumb to close the right nostril like this. We'll use the right ring and pinky to close the left nostril like this. Alternate nostril breathing. Let's practice 3 cycles together and then continue 3 cycles on your own. You might close your eyes to help tune inward as well. Prepare to begin by emptying this breath. With right thumb closing right nostril, inhale through left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close left. Exhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold the breath. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stay here. Inhale right. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right. Exhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5,
4, 3, 2, 1. Close left, exhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right, exhale left, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle, inhale left for 4. Hold 6. Close left, exhale right, 4. Hold 6. Inhale right, 4. Hold 6. Close right, exhale left, 4. Hold 6. Continue 3 more cycles on your own. Take your time. When you are finished, let go of controlling the breath and sit for a few moments, observing how you feel. As you feel ready, gently lower your body to a comfortable resting position to lie down in for a few minutes of corpse pose or shavasana. You may like to splay your feet apart on the ground, wider apart than hips distance. Maybe use your props if that brings any comfort in supporting your body. Close the eyes. You might turn the palms to face up, slightly away from your thighs to rest the shoulders. And allow the breath to flow naturally, letting your awareness drop deeper inward. Let your body rest here another moment as you scan it. Observe how you're feeling physically. Keeping your eyes closed, sense the way your body wants to begin waking up. And start to move slowly and gently into easy stretches. Gradually turning over onto your right side, resting your head there. And as you pause on your side, observe your breathing just as it is. Notice your energy. Notice the effects of your physical yoga practice. Then take your time rising up. Please find a comfortable way to sit for a guided 10 minutes of Vipassana meditation, insight meditation. This way of meditating or approach to it can be a helpful way to become more aware of our patterns, of where we place our attention or how we relate to what we're perceiving. And the more we sit in meditation doing this practice, the more we can transfer that practice of self-awareness into our daily situations. So sitting tall, grounded, open and relaxed. You might place your palms to stack face up on the center of your lap, left palm under the right palm, the left signifying wisdom, the right signifying compassion. The two working together as the thumb tips touch. As you sit tall, let the shoulders fall back and down, closing the eyes or steadying a gentle gaze on one spot on the ground ahead. Choose what allows you to focus more easily. Let's take a moment to consciously relax all throughout the physical body. Sense the muscles in the face, letting the eyes, the skin on the forehead soften. Let the jaw unclench as you relax the tongue. Invite an open heart space as the collarbones widen. Maybe sensing the breath move at your chest. Notice any sensations within the rib cage. And feel your left and right shoulders as you trace your awareness down both arms, feeling the length and volume of your arms down to your fingertips. Relax your hands. Bring your awareness back to your torso as you soften the belly. Noticing anything happening in the belly. The aliveness of sensations there. Feel the weight of your pelvis as you relax the muscles, the bottom of the pelvis, and all around it. Letting your awareness travel down your legs as you sense the volume and length of your legs, left and right. Feel your feet from the inside out. Let your feet relax too. Feeling your whole body at ease with each new natural breath, resting into stillness. And gently begin to rest your awareness on the natural movements of the breath, the inflow, the outflow, just as it is. Letting the breath stabilize your attention so that you know you're here right now. We can start by resting awareness on the breath as an anchor, connecting us to the present moment. If you find it difficult to rest on the breath as the home base, you might instead rest your attention on the overall sensations of your physical body, or on the sounds that you hear in your background. When an experience arises, a thought, a shift in sensations, external stimuli like a sound. When an experience arises that's calling your attention, you might feel the breath or your anchor that you chose, but also feel some, whatever that new stimuli is, maybe some strong pressure in the body or a tingling or a tension. As you notice what new thing happens to call your attention, let the breath be in the background as you attend to that new thing with a gentle curiosity. Noticing what it's like. Noticing how it changes. And when it's no longer so compelling, let yourself come back to resting on the movement and the breath again, or whatever your chosen anchor. When you've noticed that your mind has drifted, this is actually a moment of awakening when you get to choose to come back to the present moment by resting on the breath or your anchor again. Sense the way you feel now mentally and emotionally. Notice if anything stood out for you during your meditation. And as you move about the rest of your day or week ahead, how might you bring this practice of noticing what you repeatedly do, remembering that awareness gives us the power to choose how we'd like to be. And come back to your intention for this practice today. Allow a moment to offer gratitude to anything you'd like. Then remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And together, let's close chanting Om 3 times. Deep breath in. Bowing in. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.